Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about a Leo chart or final signature in a natal horoscope. Now, many of you know this, but chart signature is determined by taking what you have the majority of in terms of elements in your natal chart and qualities. So I look at the 10 planets, the ascendant, and the MC when evaluating this. So let's say you have the majority of those in fire and also in fixed signs. That would equate to a Leo chart or final signature. Now, as far as a Leo chart signature goes, it's like an overall kind of like I guess you could say like a flavor or a tone of the chart. Somebody can have, say if they had their sun and their moon in more reticent signs, so to speak, and say like Taurus and Cancer or Virgo and Cancer, but their chart signature was in Leo, well, the chart signature will give it a little bit more of a blend, a little more flavoring of more extroversion, more gregariousness, somebody that wants to be more might be a little more attention seeking, even if the person is basically very reticent or introverted. This person might seek more recognition, more accolades for their achievements and what they do, and like to be noticed perhaps a little bit more than the typical, say, sun ascendant combination that would fall in feminine signs, for example. Now, the person that has a Leo chart signature, the chart signature is about often where the person wants to improve upon as far as those characteristics and attributes go. So even if the person has a strong majority of planets in their in Leo, or say, for example, let's say the person was a double Leo even, and if, let's say they have their sun and ascendant in Leo, and they have the chart signature in Leo, well, two things will happen. It'll accentuate those characteristics of Leo a little more and reinforce them. And it'll also, even despite having those two, I guess you could say, influences in Leo, the person will have a need where they feel they need to maybe be more gregarious, more extroverted, be recognized more for the achievements, show more leadership prowess, more fortitude, more courage, show greater generosity and greater ability to be and to be more magnanimous. Maybe they feel they're not spending enough on things. So there's still the chart signature is about a general tone or blend. It's a little bit of an added, I think, a fairly good nuance to the person. And it also represents the attributes and traits associated with that sign that a person may wish to enhance on or improve on, as far as as far as they want for themselves, what needs improvement, even if they have those energies strong already in their natal chart or horoscope. So really, the natal chart, I should say, the chart or final signature does give that flavor, does give a blend of that sign. And it's also possible for somebody to have, say, a Leo chart or final signature without having any of those influences in Leo, because somebody, let's say, for example, had a number of influences in Sagittarius and Aries. Let's say they had like 6, and that's what they had the majority of in terms of element, and those are both fire signs. Now let's say they also were to have the majority of their influences in fixed signs, and let's say those fixed signs did not have Leo. They were a combination, say, of Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. Well, you would take the fire and the fixed and combine them, and that would be a Leo chart signature. So in that particular case, or the examples where people have the Leo chart signature and they don't have it in terms of anything in their planets or ascendant or midheaven, that would give them perhaps a little bit of a Leo, I guess you could say, that flavoring in them that they didn't even realize maybe they had before, weren't cognizant of it even. They could be, that's why some people may, on occasion, you'll see somebody exhibit or exude some traits of a sign, and yet it's not located anywhere in their chart. Well, it would be located in the chart based on the chart signature, but it just wouldn't be found in that example that I described before, in terms of having it in the planets or the ascendant or MC. So that's one. So that is another element that's connected with chart or final signature in one's natal horoscope. So this is something to consider. I don't think, in my opinion, now you might get varying opinions on this, but the chart signature, I don't believe it actually overrides or supersedes the sun, moon, or ascendant in one's natal chart. I think those three are very strong proponents in one's chart, and I don't necessarily think that it surpasses it, but it can give that overall feel to the chart, and can give a little extra flavoring or blend in the person's natal horoscope. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Leo, a final chart signature. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about a Virgo chart signature in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person, astrologically, is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.